Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about why we refuse to do a world cruise.
We get the question a lot, why don't you guys just do a world cruise? We travel full time, so we have no home base anywhere. We just travel continuously from place to place. And obviously, as you know from this channel, we love cruising. We've cruised from Asia, from the Middle East, from Europe, all over the US and Canada. So we've been to a lot of different starting points, ports, and just made some decisions as to why we wouldn't be interested in doing a world cruise.
Yeah, and it's surprising because before we started traveling, one of our big dreams was to do like a 3-month, 6-month cruise. We thought that would be amazing. But as we've done some of these longer 14, 21-day cruise, and even did a lot of them back to back to back and did 45 days on a cruise ship in a row, it was different ships, we did realize that we do not like being on a ship for that long, continuously, because there are things that you miss when you're on the ship, and it became a strain on us to be on a ship for that long, and it just wasn't something that we enjoyed.
Yeah, it was really, especially when we were on that, we did 5 back-to-back cruises. It was 45 days total, 2 transatlantic crossings in there. And boy, it was really, even though we were on different ships, it was still, we found, pretty challenging. So I can't imagine it would be any better if it was just on one ship.
Yeah, and one of the things that people don't talk about a lot is that when you're on a world cruise, you are changing time zones a lot. So you're changing, in some cases, every day, sometimes every other day or every third day. And if you're going the wrong way, where you're losing an hour, like if you're going, from the US towards Europe, going that direction for your cruise, you're gonna feel like you just can't catch up. Like you can never get enough sleep, you can't get to breakfast on time every day, because every day it's an hour earlier, and that really starts to play on you. Now, it's not as bad when you're doing it the other way because you get an extra hour. So if you're gonna consider a world cruise, definitely book one that is going the way that your days will be 25 hours instead of 23 hours most days. But that was another thing that just really, because you can't have it going that way all the time. Sometimes you're going to go backwards on a world cruise, but we didn't like that. Another thing we really didn't like was the same food on the ship over and over and over. And after we got off our cruise of 14 days, which was a world cruise, it was on the Zwieterdam, we just hopped on a 14-day portion of their world cruise. We thought to ourselves, we could not eat the same food for another 60 or 90 days.
Yeah, and we had done transatlantic cruises before. It was not our first one, but just really reiterated the fact that it was really not for us, or you just have to be a little bit choosier on what kind of ship that you're on to do one of those, because it is really challenging to have so limited choices for food. Sometimes, you just want something in particular, and then there's nothing you can do about it. You can't get it. You have to choose from whatever is in front of you, and that's it.
And that's one of the reasons why we won't do a world cruise, is because world cruises, the ones that are generally going to go for half a year or something, they usually use the older ships for that. They're brand new ships, the ones that just came out, the nice new mega ships. They want people getting on that thing every 4 days, every 7 days, and they're just turning them over like that. They take their older ships, ones that aren't quite as nice, and they use those for the world cruises. They're generally smaller because they're not going to have as many people. The food options are going to be much more limited. You're basically going to have the main dining room, the buffet, and maybe one other place to get burgers or something. And that's just not enough for 60 to 90 days to eat that same food, because what we found is the buffet, there wasn't a lot of variety, and in the main dining room, it kind of all started to taste the same after a while, whereas on a big new mega ship or a Virgin ship, one of the new Royal Caribbean ships, even a Carnival ship, they're going to have so many different options, like your Guy's Burger Bar or Guy's Pig and Anchor, Shaq's Chicken. you don't have those kind of options on a world cruise, you end up getting pretty sick of the food pretty quickly.
Yeah, even with, with those choices, again, you may want something in particular and you just don't have the option to do that. You can't go to, a different restaurant. You can't, make your own food. There just are very few options. It's just is what it is that they're offering you, and you have absolutely no say in it whatsoever.
Now, the other problem that we have with the world cruise is they do sometimes go to amazing ports that you wouldn't get to go to on a shorter cruise, but we found that when we get to those ports, we want to spend more time than the cruise allows us. So while it's amazing to go to these amazing places, we would rather just go there and spend a week or 2 weeks and enjoy that and then do that. So it's kind of like on the cruise, you're getting just a small taste, but you can't really go explore the port to its fullest every time.
Right, that is challenging. You do get to go to more unique places, especially because some of these older ships that they use are not as big and can go to ports that some of the bigger ships cannot get into, which is really nice. But it's almost always places that you would have preferred to have spent, like Rob said, a week or 2 weeks in.
The next thing is that the entertainment on a world cruise is not going to be as good as the entertainment on a shorter cruise for a pretty simple reason. They take the entertainers and they put them on the ship. Well, they have to pick them up somewhere, and sometimes you're in obscure places and there's no entertainers around, or if you're crossing the Atlantic or the Pacific, they have to take all the entertainers on board, whatever got on at that last port, and carry them all the way across, and they just don't want to carry that many entertainers across. So you will basically be getting a couple of one-man acts, and that's really all you're going to get for entertainment a lot of time on a world cruise.
Yeah, that is the tough thing. You do get tired of just like the ensembles that they have that stay on board, like the dance groups and, different things like that. But when they do bring people on, it's, a little bit more challenging because the talent is not going to be the same as ones where, it starts and ends in one place. It's much harder to get some really strong entertainment talent for world cruises.
And then the pricing on a world cruise, for some odd reason, is higher. So if you book a 60-night world cruise, you're going to pay more than if you booked 4 15-night cruises. And that doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's just true. So what we found is that when we want to do a world-type cruise, it's better just to make your own itinerary. And you can go from here to here for 15 nights, stay there for a couple weeks, then do another cruise for another 15 nights. It gives you the break, it gives you a price cut, it gives you the variety of being on different cruise lines. So we're not against cruising long term, we're just more willing to do it on our own terms, which means we can pick what we're doing each step of the way.
Exactly, which is, we tried it out we tried our own kind of world cruise by doing that 45 days and put that together, and then, started to realize some things. Hey, we want a little break in between, or we want to spend more time in this one place. And so we're able to kind of put that itinerary together ourselves, as opposed to paying more in almost every case for these world cruises than if we are just putting them together ourselves.
So we would love to hear what you think about world cruise. Have you done one? If you have, let us know how it went in the comments. What did you like? What did you really dislike about it? That'll be helpful to anyone else reading the comments. So let us know what you thought.
Yeah, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys next time.